mention that human trafficking is a global challenge demanded united response from various departments, but by adopting best practices, enhancing legal frameworks, and supporting victims, we can reduce this crime prevalence. Together, we can build a safer world for everyone. Thank you.
May I now request Ritu to introduce Dr. P.M. Nair, IPS retired, former DGP of NDRF.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is with profound respect and admiration that I introduce our distinguished guest speaker today, Dr. P.M. Nair. Sir is a globally renowned expert in anti-human trafficking and law enforcement with over 4 decades of dedicated service in India and South Asia. A retired IPS officer with 35 years of service, he held senior positions such as DGP of NDRF and served a decade with the CBI, investing landmark cases including the Rajiv Gandhi assassination, the Bofors scandal, and major human rights violations. Widely respected as the father of the anti-human trafficking mission in India, Sir pioneered critical innovations like setting up India's first anti-human trafficking units, AHTUs, and AHT clubs in over 500 colleges. He led the development of training manuals, SOPs, and handbooks, including the National Book on Investigating Trafficking Crimes. Dr. Nair has trained over 100,000 stakeholders, rescued more than 60,000 victims, and personally drafted India's legislation on human trafficking. He has also served as Tata Chair Professor at TIS, led national and international research projects for the NHRC, ADB, World Bank, and India's only UNODC international expert on trafficking. Academically, he holds a PhD, LLB, and MA in Sociology, and is a graduate of the National Defense College in India and the FBI International Academy of the US. His lifelong contributions have earned commendations from the Supreme Court, senior government leaders, civil society, and academia alike. It would take far more time than we have today to do justice to all of Dr. Nair's accomplishments, but what matters most is that we are incredibly fortunate that he is here with us today. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Nair to the stage. Please, sir.
I request a former DGP, Dr. P.M. Nair, sir, to kindly address the audience.
Vanakkam, Namaste, Pranam, good afternoon. Thank you so much. All the gracious women, gracious police officers, gracious women of the country. हमारे ऐसे एक आदमी को बीच में बुला लिया, अच्छा लगा. The amount of work a woman can do, amazing. I have also a mother, wife, daughter, all. You know, police officer, a wife, mother, and what not. I can't do all this. Nobody can do all this. This multitasking only you can do. Salam pranam. Sincerely. So very happy that we could do, people like sitting here, my friend Mr. Ambu, Mr. Anil, and all the esteemed colleagues, Madam Malini, you know, they are of course women. But men like us also could do something for the women of the country. That puts us in a very great self-satisfaction. In that context, I know we are time short, so we'll rush through the presentation. And I will not be speaking on what is trafficking, etc. Aapko pata hai hi. I'll go only on the best practices, a few of the hundreds and thousands of best practices in the country. Hundreds and thousands of best practices in the country, but not documented. Hindustan ke police itna badhiya kaam karta hai, commendable work, but hardly anything get documented. Jo hum log nahi karte hain, uska bare mein logon ko pata hai. What we are not able to, people know. What we do, people don't know. Therefore, this good practice compendium and good practice initiative by BPRD is something amazing. I salute the DG BPRD, the DG Tamil Nadu, and all the esteemed colleagues out here for taking this mission. We'll have a focus attention on prevention, protection, prosecution. all the best practices by different agencies. I am not going to confine myself only to a police officer, but others also. All these agencies I am going to touch upon. First of all, it's a national action research on human trafficking. 2002-2004 में NHRC decided to do an action research along with Government of India, Ministry of Home Affairs and Ministry of Women and Child. Got the UN also into that, and thereupon the 2 years of intense research across the country. Now, research plus action. Action research, amazing. This research, 2 years of intense research, I was privileged to be the principal researcher, not as a police officer, but as because of my sociology and PhD background. And national level research hua, and then so many issues have come up. One human trafficking was 13,000. 13,000 people were arrested in the human trafficking case in 2004. In 2000, and out of the 13,000, 89% were women. That means all the 89% traffickers in the country were women. 2004. Research came, findings came, and all the mystification of the myths were done. All the myths were demystified, and the impact is that in 2005, the data came that their arrested was 5,500, out of which only 10 or 11% were women. What happened to the women? 13,000 women in 1 year, and next year hardly 5% of that. What happened? The fact is that the research showed that police were arresting women as prostitutes, victims as prostitutes, victims as offenders. The research had stopped it. The Human Rights Commission took the initiative, Home Ministry came in, NHRC came in, Women and Child Ministry came in, state governments came in, all of you came in and stopped arresting women as prostitutes. They were rescued as victims. The entire paradigm change happened in the whole country. Entire paradigm change happened in the whole country. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the beauty of integrating research with action. Research with action. Many police officers wanting to do research, do that. Tie up with a university, a proper university, and do micro researches. You can make a tremendous improvement. This study is one, it made a tremendous impact. Now, research also showed that holistic action is required. It is not that you do something and go away. Prevention, protection, prosecution, a combination model was brought in. That model got stabilized from 2004 onwards. Today, Hindustan mein 2004 ka jo model hai, integrating prevention, protection, and prosecution. Prevention we all know. And by prosecution means registering crimes, investigating, documenting, presenting in the court of law, and conviction. What is protection? Protection means ensuring the right to the victim, rehabilitation, restoration, all is a part of that. The police was not aware or not involved in the process of protection, but we brought in a mandate whereby protection was also part of that. So the entire scenario got changed because of this triple P model. Then came the anti-human trafficking unit. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the findings of the research was that police and NGOs are not together, government agencies are not together. Koi kehta kisi ka kaam hai, koi kuch karte nahi hai. Somebody says somebody's job, and people are moving helter-skelter. There was a complete working in silos. Complete working in silos. Now the government, now the NHRC research said you cannot work in silos. Come together, work together, converge. The convergence mantra was brought in. Very interesting. The convergence mantra has to be put into action. Then came the Government of India along with the UN, United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, UNODC. I was fortunate to become the project coordinator for the UNODC. 2 saal ka project, 2 years project in Delhi. What did we do? We set up anti-human trafficking unit. I am not taking any credit. Entire credit goes to the entire team in the state police who did that job. I am only a trigger factor. ASU kya hai? We bring the police together, NGOs together, caregivers together, prosecutors together, and we set up 9 ASUs. Ladies and gentlemen, setting them is very easy. Running is not so easy. What did we do? Mentoring, facilitating, hand-holding. Go to Goa, sit with the inspector of ASU, work along with her, conduct a rescue, investigate the case, make a plan of action, and entire process of investigation was done. Prosecution, conviction, all those we did. Network with the prosecutors, network with the judiciary, everything was done. The caregiver part, psychosocial counseling, what not. That is what ASU started. Now 9 ASU started in 2007, and thereafter went on and on. And now ASU focus is on all these other focus of ASU. Now somewhere down the line, the focus has been whittled a little bit, changed a bit some issues are there that we need to sort out. Problems are not with the ASU. Problem is what we and how we handle. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a mandate of the ASU to investigate and take it forward. In that context, all these facilities are provided for the ASU. The Government of India gives money for the ASU. Government of India gives money for all these facilities. I don't know how many of you are aware of that. Now, good practice models. One is the integrated model was brought in with an SOP for that. Synergy of stakeholders, capacity building was done. All people have got together. Can you believe the judiciary, prosecutor, police officers, NGOs, caregivers, forensic scientists got all of them together and trained them together. Training together makes all the impact. Entire gap was broken and the gap melding was taken place. So sustained mentoring took place. Impact of ASU is that it was a good practice model, went across the country, and it was copied to Nepal and Bangladesh also. NGO as a partner was required. NGO partner means we verify the integrity of the NGO. There are outstanding examples of NGOs across the country, from Kashmir to Kanyakumari and from Arunachal Pradesh to Rajasthan. Very good NGOs are there. Some of them may not be known outside. They may not publicize. We need to work along with them. We need to work along with those NGOs who are on the grassroots. We need to work along with the NGOs who are on the ground level. Many of them have publicity, etc., etc. But let's work along with the NGOs who are really on the ground level. Made a huge impact, and the NGO partner became a great institution. Then comes the institutionalization. Ladies and gentlemen, when you start a research project, findings of the research, based on the research anti-human trafficking unit setup, evaluation of the ASU, replication of the ASU, in 2020, Government of India set up anti-human trafficking units, all the 729 districts of the country. Then they gave it to BSF, gave it to ITBP, gave it to SSB, gave it to RPF. Today, ladies and gentlemen, all the entire country has got anti-human trafficking units. Secondly, and most importantly, in a Bachchan Bachao Andolan case which came up to Supreme Court of India said wording like this: if a child missing is not traced in 3 months' time, the case shall be handed over to anti-human trafficking unit, a specialized investigative agency for dealing with human trafficking crimes. Supreme Court has given a blessing. Ladies and gentlemen, tell me in India where we have started research, administrative unit, replication, evaluation, and Supreme Court ruling. Entire circle is full. Amazing workers. This is what is required in the entire scenario. A classical good practice model which nowhere in the world exists. This is only a characteristic of India. A Hindustan ka apna hai, made in India and nowhere else. Made in India. That's what. Ladies and gentlemen, wonderful initiatives by Government of India. You are aware of the Crime Act, Crime Multi-Agency Center. I don't know how many of you are aware. Wonderful agency. Any intelligence you want, any state government wants intelligence, connect with them. One of the best agencies on criminal intelligence. We keep saying we have documentation required for abusers, traffickers, sex workers, etc. So nothing is required. Everything is available there. It is all there. It's all there. It's all there. So please utilize this agency. Take it forward. Significant measures include the Track Child portal, online exploitation trafficking, and a nodal cell, National Investigative Agency notified, and National Commission for Protection of Child Rights also. Ladies and gentlemen, when we speak about the NHRC, I must highlight this good practice model. How many of you are aware of this? Can you believe if children are rescued in a let's say Rajasthan, 65 children are rescued in Rajasthan by somebody and put it before the Child Welfare Committee, Jaipur. Child Welfare Committee will identify 20 from Gaya, Bihar, and send to CWC, Bihar. Now, how do they send? Rajasthan police has to give escort, and all Bihar police has to give escort. The child has to go to the CWC, Gaya, and the child goes home. That is the protocol. But are you aware, and on today's date, at least 5,000 children are languishing, use the word languishing, in homes for repatriation to the state. For repatriation state. It's a matter of shame for all of us. I have been advising in NCPCR in their review meetings. So many state governments come, I keep firing at them. I said, yeah, there are 36 bache hain, West Bengal se Bihar, inhe kyun nahi bhejte ho? Why are you not sending the child? Tera beta hai to nahi karoge kya? Do it. Next week it shall be done. I don't want to get irritated because we don't care. We don't care why children not material to be circulated here and there. that sensitivity part, that responsibility part, that samvedanshilna is somewhere missing. Therefore, this Garvapasi portal is a very interesting thing. Ladies and gentlemen, if child reported missing or child rescued, he has to be sent a particular state. The CWC is responsible, state DCPU is responsible, and this Garvapasi makes a DCPU responsible. And you have to take recourse to them and ensure it is being done. Government of India initiatives, many legal amendments. I think I don't want to get into that, but there are very interesting examples here. CBI. CBI has been notified. They have been doing a great job. CBI report card is a long list of commendable work done by the CBI. The presentation, you can see that. You can read through that. Amazing work done by the CBI in these matters. Each principle has got a value of its own. Interpol and CBI, an interesting case study. They did an Operation Stormmaker across the world on anti-human trafficking. 2023, amazing work. The whole world got to the Interpol, and CBI is part of Interpol there. Interpol across the world got together. They operation on an operation on trafficking persons, and interesting work was done. Can you believe children missing in India were in Nepal? Children missing in India were in Bangladesh. Children missing in Bangladesh were in India. They were all trafficked here and there. We think trafficking does not take place in Bangladesh. We have trafficking into Nepal also. We have trafficking into Bangladesh also. And within the country also. Within the country also we have a lot of trafficking takes place. They have an interesting model here. Then on a cyber crime, I am sure Madam Malini will be speaking details on that. But this is also a good practice model. Very good practice model. When you go to the schools and colleges, please educate the children on what needs to be done. Good practices in partnership also is very good. Trained counselor helps the crime detection. I don't want to go into details. Sunlab is an NGO in Kolkata. Anybody from the Kolkata? Sunlab? Yes, ma'am. You know Sunlab? Sunlab is a Kolkata. Yes, thank you so much. NGO in Kolkata. Amazing work they are doing. They have an MOU with the police. CID and what happened? CID and West Bengal police have missing here. CID and West Bengal police have an MOU, and based on that MOU, they have taken action. How many agencies have MOU with NGOs? Beware of the NGOs. All NGOs are not good. And moreover, when you work with an NGO, keep 6 months time frame only. After you verify the NGO credentials, then only go on. Don't make you as liable for years together. Trained counselor, interesting crime detection. I consider a very interesting case because the case got convicted. It's not moving here. Counseling a victim helps in conviction. Again, a Kolkata girl matter of 16 rescued in Kolkata. This very interesting matter again. How the NGOs are of great help when you have to investigate a case. How many of you are really utilizing NGOs? There are limitations of NGO, but use them only for that limitation. They cannot investigate. No, don't get them into investigation work. But counseling, very important validation part. In a crime of trafficking, the victim is completely devastated, completely shattered, completely gone. To get the child to speak or the woman to speak, woman or girl child to speak, not an easy job. What I communicate today with you, 35% is spoken, 65% is not spoken. My body movements. So that child, that 65%, 35% also won't come. So we have to be more careful about listening to what is not spoken. Listening to what is not spoken. Your observation capacity, your listening capacity, all these are very important. Ladies and gentlemen, hear this. In that matter, counseling helps a lot. I'm moving here. Yeah. Harm assessment. I don't know how many of you do that harm assessment. Say child or the victim woman has lot of trauma. When you want to record a statement under 164, the child or woman doesn't speak. हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं? कुछ बोलते नहीं है. The diary बंद कर दिया. The girl doesn't speak. Therefore we close the case. Don't do that. We are committing a crime on ourselves. The child has to speak. How do we make the child speak? That's the beauty of the interviewing technique. Interviewing techniques. How many of you have spent time on interviewing techniques? It's a very interesting professional art. It's not just a police job, it's a psychologist job, psychiatrist job, all together. Ladies and gentlemen, this interesting art of interviewing is very important to get to know the child. And then record the harm assessment. Harm assessment, you have to record under 172 CRPC, that is 192 BNSS. I hope you are aware of that. We normally write the case diary only for case diary open, statement recorded, close the diary. Diary khul diya, bayan likh diya, diary band kiya. That's not the way. 172 portion of the diary is a very important diary where you can record entire harm to the victim. That harm of the victim, recorded by the agencies concerned, including psychosocial caregivers, you can take it into consideration. In Sakshi versus Union of India, a case I was privileged to investigate when I was in CBI, the father is undersecretary in Home Ministry, sodomizing his own daughter. The child will not speak anything. Child finally says, Papa ganda hai, Papa doodh pilata hai, bottle se pilate hain, and maagta hai, ganda hai. But we put on record that what the child says is not milk, not feeding bottle, etc., 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 through psychosocial counseling. Through involving psychosocial, Dr. Neera Bora, head of psychiatry in Ramanohaloya Hospital, Dr. Dogra, forensic expert in AIMS. These doctors came. And we trained ourselves. The investigator, we went to them and trained ourselves. How many of us do that? We trained ourselves and then got the entire story. The Sakshi versus Union of India, all of them got convicted, and the accused, of course, ran away and committed suicide also. Well, linking source, transit, destination, very important. Ladies and gentlemen, how many of us do that? The scene of crime is not the place of rescue. The child is in traffic from Assam, brought to Kolkata, brought to Mumbai, brought to Pune, and rescued in Pune. Your scene of crime is not Pune. That's scene of crime number one. So very many interesting investigations done in this count. I consider this a very good practice where outstanding police officers, professionals have done linking source to transit to destination. Very important. Case management, very important. Normally we file a charge sheet and don't record that. Ladies and gentlemen, I am not giving what you should do. I am only giving what has been done. Please remember that. Whatever I am speaking is good practice model. All these are good practices models in our country, which many of us may not be aware. All these examples are not what is to be done, what has been done. So please notice that case management is a very important thing done. Victim compensation and relief. In a NGO in Kokrajhar in Assam, the NGO ensures that the child gets all relief, the woman gets all the relief. It's not that District Legal Service Authority pass an order, DOLA compensation, and nobody and children are taken care of. It's what a wonderful thing to happen. Video conferencing and trial.